Hello, hello to all of our beautiful listeners all around the world. So, my name is Wilson, and unfortunately, we couldn't have Billy to come in to participate with our new episode on a very, very renowned American classic, Escaped from New York. Sorry, not escaped, but escape from New York. So, um, so yes, today will be another solo episode because obviously he has his own personal reasons that he doesn't want to be here. Maybe he's trying to rescue somebody. One of our neighboring potatoes who is being abducted by humans and being peeled off, and he's trying his best to, potentially um, rescue them and deliver them to the nearest hospital. But we'll see. So, going to the review. This is gonna be just my opinion about the movie, which I have my own thoughts, my own unique, interesting thoughts about this. So, here we go. This movie is directed by John Carpenter, who has made such classics like Halloween. It is one of my favorite films. To be honest with you, Halloween is to this day is one of the staple for our at least for Americans Halloween season. It's one of the most cherished and most treasured and most heck, even with movie culture itself, it's being referenced to death. With Halloween related movies or even non-Halloween related movies to some extent. I cannot point out exactly which one, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm referring to. So, and it's also written by John Carpenter and Nick Castle. Not sure about Nick Castle, but John Carpenter is usually known to direct and write his own movies. And obviously, this movie starring Kurt Russell, a freaking legend of American cinema. Lee Van Cleef, not sure about that guy, and Ernest Borgnine and those other characters around who's in Escape from New York. I want to bring a new format with this. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the budget and how much it made worldwide and even with the American market as well. So the movie is estimated to have a $6 million budget, which at that time it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a big budget movie. It's pretty much almost the same scale with today's is Marvel films like The Eternals or I don't know, like the newest one, Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse of Madness, I guess, which I actually am gonna review after this episode, by the way. So keep an eye on that. I'm not gonna review that this week because I'm really busy. So I'm gonna review this instead. Which subverts your expectations. Haha. Never mind. The terrible joke. So it made 6 million. Sorry. It's being made with 6 million on hand, and it made about $25 million just in America alone and Canada together. And guess what? How much it made worldwide? Okay, so in America and Canada, it made 25, 244, $626. In worldwide, that's 25,274,965. It's not a lot. It's not a huge difference. So that just tells you that back in the 80s, the American market for film is freaking huge, and West and Eastern or foreign markets doesn't matter. Even China at that time doesn't even matter at all because obviously with the fall of Mao's like regime, the Chinese have to kind of build their system back up to where it is now, which is, you know, which has, you know, I don't want to talk about that for this episode because we're not really about politics, but it's more about time, because I'm gonna go off tangent if I don't focus on this one. Okay, back to this movie. So, what do I think about Escape from New York? First thing I will tell you, I will say about the positives first before I'm gonna get to the negative sides. So, what do I like about the movie? Snake Plissken. Okay, this is the main character in the movie. He is, his job is pretty much, he is a hired assassin, I guess, or like, yeah, pretty much like a hired bounty hunter by a secret agency service that's operating, you know, without government notice. Heck, I don't even think a government even matters here at all, because this is basically in a post-apocalyptic world after World War III, where everything is completely like tarnished to the ground, completely abolished. So now you're all left with this, you know, a bunch of scraps, and society is pretty much back to primitive nature, which is a really interesting concept. But I want to talk about Snake Plissken. Snake Plissken is played by Kurt Russell, and he's really, really good with that. The way he delivers his lines, okay, so badass. He just, you know, just oozes of manliness. It's like, yes, do not come to that door. Stay away from that door. You know, obviously he talks a little bit, you know, soft-spoken like this, but when he delivers his line, you know that this guy doesn't give a shit about anything, but he just wants to get the job done as fast as possible, as soon as possible, as professional as possible too, right? So that's the beauty of Snake Plissken. So really great line deliveries. I think if it's done by a different actor, or if it's directed in a specific, you know, in a different way by a different director, I think the execution will look a bit stupid. But because you got these two amazing, talented people working with this film, it's not. It doesn't take me out of the movie. It actually kind of draws me a little bit more, right? And going back to the World War III, you know, atmosphere and the way they set up this universe is it's actually really, really intriguing too. I like it. So with after World War III happened, right? Because the movie takes place in 1997. So what they establish here is the society. Okay, one, it goes back to primitive, primitive nature, where there's like, you know, the government system is pretty much under a chief, or in this case is under a duke, okay, at least in New York. So it's controlled by one guy, so technically it's kind of like a tyrannical like regime in some ways. Most people, the ones who actually survive, actually are living underneath the, like in the sewers, literally underneath the streets, and you can and then when you actually saw them like crawling out of the sewers, you know, like through like those manholes, it just, you know, you kind of feel, you know, really intimidated. I never got uncomfortable from like hordes of human beings just chasing after you, especially when they're coming out of like manholes. Like, I don't know, like that just creeps me out, especially if they look like homeless people. You know, it just makes me really uncomfortable. But that's kind of the point of it all, because it just basically means that society, it just becomes, you know, a complete pile of trash by that point. And for those who actually did survive, they pretty much just doomed to, you know, starve to death, because there's very little food available anyway. So you're technically just left with eating cockroaches, I guess, or maybe even rats if you do encounter them from time to time. Just really gross, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And yeah, it's, heck, even they actually got the grungy, wild, you know, hippie kind of 60s, 70s, you know, fashion clothing still stuck until 1997. So I'm pretty sure, I think World War III happened I haven't really read the actual TV tropes and all this stuff, but I'm pretty sure World War III happened probably a couple of years before this. So the fashion technically stopped around that time. I'm guessing it was around the 70s. At least ended of the 70s. And then it just went stagnant until 1997, you know? So that's why the clothes that they wear is very similar to what people in the 70s actually wear, except obviously you know they will have to modify a little bit just to be able to adapt to their surroundings. You know, they saw some of them actually have to strip off like some of their clothes, I don't know, for agility reasons or something, or they have to makeshift some materials to make them into like some sort of, you know, outfit for them, so they can protect themselves from like cold, you know, like cold extreme weathers, because New York is also, you know, prone to have some freezing temperatures too. I know, because I've been there and I don't like it. Okay, but yeah, it's like the world building is actually really good. I absolutely love it. Heck, even the studs too with this one. Ah, man. In the 80s, when you have people like John Carpenter, you know, Wes Craven, and all these amazing people, James Cameron. That's a terrible joke. James Cameron, and you know, all these amazing talented directors. They're like, hey, let's make sets. Let's make things blow up in person. Because obviously at that time, technology is not, you know, as great as it is today, where you can actually do that digitally, and not many people will actually notice, right? Even though it's getting more and more obvious like these days, because, you know, people are more getting smarter with understanding how technology works. So it's getting harder to hide those. But back then, you didn't have a choice, because back then your 3D models look like freaking I don't know, like those videos from David Firth or something. So not the best, right? But yeah, I love it. The set designs, way they like this is one amazing scene where the car just jumps off another car and it just leaps to yeah, like the other side. It's not really like a huge wow amazing scene, but it kind of like, oh wow, they like, I know they did it for real, and I know that that's freaking dangerous. So it actually adds to the immersion too, because you know that these people actually have to do all of this in person and with actual tangible objects, you know, sets, right? Actual props. Okay, let's just stop because I have some things to say that I don't like about this film, which is just actually a little bit more than the ones that I like. I'm sorry. I know it's a cult classic. I understand. I know, but look, not everybody has the same opinion as one another, and I don't think this film is as good as what people said. Okay. What makes a cult classic a cult classic? If you think it's great, good for you, but I don't think that's for me. The reason why is exactly what we're not gonna tell you. So before you're gonna hold your guns to my face, or you're gonna raid my house, you're gonna kill Bill. Get it? Kill Bill. Never mind. If you're gonna, you know, murder Billy somewhere, keep in mind, this is my opinion. You could disagree, but I'm just gonna say it. I think this movie is overrated. Okay. I think it has great stuff, right? It has some of that, but the main issue I have with this is the story, the way they actually present like a simple story of a bounty hunter trying to rescue the president from a desolate, you know, desolate, you know, environment where everyone is a savage. It's not the, you know, it's not really about originality versus copy. No, it's about the way they execute it. It's very bland. And the pacing is slow as fuck. All right, sorry about that, but I don't know. I think, okay, look, listen here. I freaking love Halloween. I freaking actually love Halloween. That's one of my favorite horror films. I'm not kidding you. It's one of my favorite horror films, one of my favorite thriller films, but this one, I don't know what I don't know what to say about this, because I have to watch three I have to go through three see things, as in I have to, okay, when I'm watching I kind of fell asleep, and then I have to get out and I have to watch the movie again, like when where I believe I stopped, and I have to continue, and then I fall asleep again. So okay, shit, I gotta have to. All right, I'm just gonna find the time that I can, which I try to do in the morning. I watch in the morning until I finish the film, and okay, yeah, I like that. I don't like this movie. No, the reason, and that's the reason why. Okay, first is the story is too simple, and the execution is pretty bland. Okay, they didn't really do anything much with the characters, as in, yes, Snake Plissken has something to do, but you kind of know that he's gonna make it out alive, right? So I wish that he, at least John Carpenter at least writes some sort of conflict with him internally and even externally speaking. Like, at least when he's like let's say this scene where he's fighting against like this big giant bodybuilder or a wrestler or something. I actually wish he actually got damaged, actually gets hit multiple times, and you can, and then some instances you can actually see where he got like all of these bruises and all of these like stabs from like this modified baseball bat with a bunch of nails, sticking out at the ends. Yeah, I wish there's more of those, just to make a character not not having that much plot armor, right? But no, I don't see that at all, which is a bit frustrating. So, and also to also mention about, I don't give a single damn about any of the other characters, because they are all disposable. If they all, okay, if that guy died, okay, like the guy, what's the guy's name, the Duke's bitch. I'm not talking about a woman. I'm talking about like the guy who Snake Plissken actually meets before he actually meets the Duke. Yeah, that guy. If he actually died earlier, then when he actually did die, in the throughout at the end of the film, I wouldn't mind, because he has very little to do with the plot, honestly. Yes, he is the plot device to get Plissken to the Duke, but you still can write. Snake Plissken would just, again, like Snake Plissken would just be able to ask a bunch of people, or try to get into like these gang wars, and that's you won, and then he intimidates all of these members, like, hey, I want to see the Duke because you're all ain't shit. Yeah, and then he's able to confront the Duke. You can write, and like you can write so many different ways, but the one that we got now is really, really weak. The characters are pretty weak. Even the Duke himself is also pretty weak. He's almost just another bland, one-dimensional villain who's just there because power. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. I really don't. So, heck yeah. Okay, even maybe this is a bit nitpicky, but the music choices are also very, very weak and subpar. Some of them don't even match the scene. So there's like this pretty tense sequence where they're actually writing in like one of the, yeah, Plissken and like his mates are like just riding inside a stolen car from one of the Duke's bodyguards, and then he has to go through like this alleyway or this road where there's a bunch of people who has like who has a bunch of makeshift weapons like ready to attack the car, and then you can see everybody is actually attacking the car, but there's no visible damage throughout. It's like, yeah, I get that there is the tension, but then I realized that, hang on a second, why isn't there glass shards coming out, you know? Because you expect somebody, if they have like some sort of steel pipe, and then when they smash the car, yes, the car is very, very well guarded. But I'm pretty sure with that amount of people, because it's literally one long row with a bunch of these people with weapons, right? I'm pretty sure at least some of them will be able to penetrate through the, you know, the what's that called? The steel guards for the windows. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can penetrate through that. At least one person could do that, but nobody did. Okay, somebody could throw a Molotov and could actually melt the car's engine, some sorts, or they can actually blow up the car, you know, from underneath. There's so many ways you can actually destroy the car, and they can just walk past them, you know, just like a breeze through the park. Like, okay, what? that is so anticlimactic. Okay, huh? All right. And then people also did tell me that, yeah, Escape from LA is a lot worse than this. I'm like, oh, whatever, never mind. I'm not gonna watch that shit at all. No, like, no, thank you. Yeah, yeah, that's what I think about the film. A bit of trivia, right? So John Carpenter, he actually wrote the film between 1974 and 1976 as a reaction to the Watergate scandal. Ooh, yeah. I'm not American, even though I do sound like one, but I'm not. I'm actually not too sure what is the Watergate scandal. So if somebody could give me some information down in the comments below, it'll be great, because I actually like to learn stuff like this. I'm actually more engaged with the actual trivia than the actual film. Like, that's actually not, that's a bad sign. So yeah, it's a Watergate scandal reactionary like film. No studio wanted to make it because it was deemed too dark. Okay, and too violent. Oh boy, that changed after the success of Halloween 1978. Okay. Because he made Halloween and they actually make a lot of freaking money, the studio's like, okay, you know what? We can make this weird, whatever you're dealing with here. Like, just do it. Okay, cool. I kind of wish there's a bit more studio control here, to be honest with you. This is just my opinion. I'm pretty sure people would disagree with me, but yeah. Kurt Russell pitched himself hard for the role of Snake Plissken, as he was very keen to shake off his Disney image based on his performance on Clint Eastwood, because he's trying to base his performance on Clint Eastwood. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure it's I'm 100% sure is definitely from the Fistful of Dollars like trilogy, like that movie franchise. I'm 100% sure, because I don't see other Clint Eastwood's role that's reminiscent with Snake Plissken. So yeah, the opening narration and the computer's voice in the first prison scene was provided by an uncredited Jamie Lee Curtis. Ooh, this is actually really interesting. Yeah, because Jamie Lee Curtis was the main protagonist in Halloween, so it actually is pretty cool to have her to voice in what, like 5 or 10 minutes of the film, which doesn't even matter. But yeah, it's really it does make me think that actually the world of Hollywood back then is actually pretty small, because I'm pretty sure everybody knows everybody, and you just have to like, hey, could you provide a voice for this? You know, I'm working on this amazing film. Like, if you have time, that'd be great. But if you don't, it's fine. And then like, oh no, Joe, don't worry, Mr. Carpenter. I would gladly want to work for you. And then they're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. That'd be great. The model itself of the city, right? which I didn't even know it's a set, because it is a set. I thought they actually have to go through New York and actually shut down like some places, which actually did happen. But I think just for like a certain scenes where they don't have to show like the the whole entire skyscrapers and all that. But yeah, mostly it's a model city, but it was repainted and reused for Blade Runner. I didn't actually even notice that. That is really smart. That is really smart for them to reuse sets from other films and then actually turn it, try to modify it to make it look different for another movie, which actually saves money. It saves a lot of money. So that's great. But then Blade Runner also ended up like making more sets than they anticipated. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. One night, while shooting on location of St. Louis, Kurt Russell, in costume, encountered some local thugs. He had unwittingly strayed into the territory, but straight into their territory, but they were suitably intimidated by his appearance and not to give him any trouble. Oh man, those poor thugs, they have no idea they're witnessing an amazing method actor. I'm not even sure if he actually is in character when he's actually intimidating, or he's just Kurt Russell like being Kurt Russell. But that's just that's just up to our imagination, who knows. Video game director, here you go, Hideo Kojima has referred to this movie frequently as an influence on his work, in particular the Metal Gear series, Solid Snake in particular. It's influenced by Snake Plissken, hence the name itself, Solid Snake, Snake Plissken. In Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Snake uses the alias Plissken to hide his real identity during most of the game. Oh, okay. Oh, I see now. It's yeah. I mean, this is I think most people are ever known about this, so I don't see the point of explaining again. But yeah, that's what I have to say about this. I might actually want to ask Willie next week what does he think about Escape from New York, as we might have a different opinion, just like we probably might have a different opinion for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness for our next episode. So if you want to, thank you very much. Obviously, if you still are listening to our podcast, that's great to have you till the end. We really appreciate it, and we would love you to have you back for next episode, because we're gonna do Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But if you want to keep an eye out for that, we can actually follow us, because we actually we have our episodes everywhere on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere you name it, even Amazon Music if you actually use that. No judging. But if you actually want to keep in touch with our social media, you can actually do that at Potato Couching. But at potatocouching.podcast. That's for our Instagram. That's for our Facebook. But that's at Potato Couching only. Okay, if it's for Twitter, so keep that in mind. We also have a TikTok. I think it's also under the same name, potatocouching.podcast. So yeah, we have a TikTok. We have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We all have that. So thank you very much again for having us. And we'll see you next episode. Bye bye.